Board members, please take your seats. Everyone, thank you. Hello? Yep. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the August 16th St. Tammany Parish School Board meeting. Did I say August? October. We don't want to restart school. Ms. Coakley, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Green.
Here.
Ms. Hanson. Ms. Rutherford. Ms. Fauntleroy. Mr. Harrell. Ms. Martin. Ms. Moore. Dr. Peterson. Ms. Baker. Ms. McCullum. Ms. Lamy. Ms. Hurstis. Mr. Breaux. Mr. Kuzan. Ms. Rufino Gallagher.
Thank you. Everybody, please rise. Ms. Baker will lead us in the invocation and pledge.
Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you for peace in the world at the moment, and please help us to sustain that. Thank you to all the students, the teachers, and everyone that is taking care of everyone. We just ask that you keep us safe and keep us mindful of all of those that go without. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would any board members like to recognize visitors? Seeing that many of these folks will be recognized. Ms. Baker?
I'd just like to recognize someone who's not here, and I'd like to thank Kim Carver for visiting Madisonville Elementary and just having a roundtable discussion of things that are working well and things that need to be improving. Anyway, I really felt like it was a very productive visit, and I thank him very much for his time.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. Any others? Okay, we'll move on to the superintendent update. Mr. Jabbia?
Thank you, Mr. Green, board members. Just a couple of things this evening. Went to the Bessie meeting on Tuesday. Extremely positive meeting for the first time in my entire tenure. But it was, we had some Bessie board members that stood up and supported superintendents and school systems to allow us to continue to bank 8th grade Algebra 1 scores in high school, which is a tremendous, tremendous win. It was a 7-4 vote. It was a little sticky there for a second, but we will take it. And they approved it for 2 years until we get to the new cumulative assessments. So at that same meeting, they approved cumulative assessments. So for those of you guys that have high school kids or are familiar, normally right now we take Algebra 1 geometry, we take English 1, English 2, end of course exams. In 2 years, they will have a new exam that you will take after you finish geometry. So those 8th graders who took Algebra 1, they would take it as a freshman. Or when you finish English 2, you would take the cum exam. So we're going to reduce end of course testing by 2 tests. You'll still take the civics test and you'll still take the biology end of course test. But at least, as of right now, and I've tried to explain to everyone, when a kid gets a qualifying score in Algebra 1 or English 1, all they have to do is take geometry or English 2, and it really puts our teachers at a tremendous disadvantage because the kids, there's no buy-in, there's no reason for kids to have to excel, no intentional reason. And so this will alleviate that and just provide the 1 test at the end of geometry, 1 test at the end of English 2, wherever that falls for that child, and then normally biology and civics. So we're really excited about reduction. We've been talking about reduction in tests, and I think in 2 years, this is going to be a huge, huge win for us. So those were the 2 main issues that we were there for 4 hours for 1 meeting at Bessie. So, hey, we hopefully we can beat them tonight. Let's try. And then last but not least, it is School Food Service Week, and I want to thank Whispering Forest. They hosted me today for School Food Service Week. They are amazing, and it's so great to be around those kids, just the young ones. I get so used to being around a lot of the high school, junior high age, getting to high five all the pre-K kids when they came in was absolutely amazing. And one of them called me the president today, which Miss Rich and everybody's aware of. But no, it really was a great day today at Whispering Forest. So I really appreciate them doing that for me today. But real quick, I want to do a special recognition tonight. I've asked Melissa Strataberger to join me tonight. I told you guys, we talked last time about the College and Career Fair. When you have vendors, when you have individuals that are there, as they're streaming out of these events by the thousands, in and out, and they walk out and say, this event is absolutely unbelievable. Like, nowhere do we participate in a fair expo like this that happens anywhere else in the state of Louisiana. Not even close. And that is it's just amazing what Melissa and Stacy do for our kids. They provide a tremendous service, but the coordination, not of just the event, the space, and everything that goes along with just setting up the event, but it's the coordination of our school to work coordinators, our counselors, our graduation coaches, our supervisors, our volunteers, ROTC, JAG instructors, everybody, and I know I'm missing a ton of people, that helped to put that event on, but it is a tremendous service. So Melissa, you gonna come up here.
It's two medals, Stacy and.
I'm getting Stacy.
Yeah,
She's not getting away with this. I'm not getting away. So I mess with Melissa. For those of you who don't know, I call Melissa my boss. So she is my boss because when she's in Melissa mode, you get that out of the way. I don't care who you are. If you're the superintendent, if you're a board member, you get out of the way. But Melissa is launching excellence, but a way above and beyond the expo. What she does, she is a champion for kids. No matter if it's dual enrollment, if it's career tech, if it's certifications, if it's accreditation, if it's lining up an instructor, if it's finding a program, if it's, finding money to have a program, finding a way to pay an instructor, whatever it is, Melissa and Stacy's not getting off the hook. I'm getting Stacy. Don't worry, she just don't know it yet. But they are the dynamic duo team, and they do launch excellence. So I'm blessed to have an amazing team, but she's a rock star and she knows it. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. And she's going to walk out and not say anything. Come on, Melissa.
Those of you who know me, I'm a behind-the-scenes person. I'm a ditch digger. I appreciate you honoring our team's work because I work with an amazing team. Stacy Alexius, my partner in crime, she is a proud alumnus of Covington High, out there celebrating her niece who is a maid, and she should be standing by my side. But more importantly than that, it's the school to work coordinators, everyone you name, the career coaches, our JAG specialists, the students, and this amazing supervisor team that's got my back. I mean, we have an all-in attitude, and I just feed off their energy and their passion. Great honor, and we have more excellence to shoot for. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jabby. Any questions from the update for the superintendent? If not, we'll move on to our special recognitions, new teacher of the year.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Green. So tonight we have the honor of recognizing all of our teachers of the year. They represent more than 3,000 teachers around this district that do an unbelievable job with our students. I'm just blown away by what I see when I pop in classrooms, when we do learning walks as a group, when we do learning walks as a team, it's just absolutely amazing. So tonight, it's our honor to recognize our district Teachers of the Year. We're going to start off with our first recognition. The LDOE created a new category, which is New Teacher of the Year. So we're going to start with our nominee for New Teacher of the Year. This is a teacher that's been in the position for less than a year, who displays high student engagement, effective classroom management, and innovative strategies. This is our first year, like I said, to recognize this award, and I'm proud to announce the winner is Miss Madeline Abity Loop from Lancaster Elementary. Let's check out a video of Madeline.
So you are doing number 2. You are multiplying 938.
Miss Loop is an outstanding teacher. When I go into her classroom, it's like magic happens. She knows how to reach her kids. She knows
10,000.
the levels in which they are at and just how to meet each and every one of their individual needs.
Being up to date on new strategies and even talking the kids' language, we like to say, really kind of helps them just stay engaged in their learning. Being able to connect their learning to their real life and just building the relationships with them ultimately helps them be successful in the long run. Show me.
Learning is fun in her classroom because it's very engaged and she makes it way more fun. We don't even know that we're actually learning, but we're learning a lot of stuff.
It's an awesome job.
Miss Loop is special because she's a unique teacher and a fun teacher that always lends a hand when someone needs it.
Having Miss Loop here at Lancaster is just so special because I taught her as a student math and science in 5th grade, and now she's teaching it. It's a full circle moment for me.
The second year around, I'll definitely say it is a lot easier than last year. And so I'm kind of finding my place and just making sure my students feel loved.
If Madeline would come forward, please. I'm gonna make you speak, yes.
I came up with something short and sweet. That kind of just choked me up when I saw Miss Haggard saying that about me. It's an honor. It's such an honor to be named as the first New Teacher of the Year for St. Tammany Parish. I'm so grateful for the support of my parents, my husband, and my LES family. A special thank you to my principal, Miss Laura Haggard, who first inspired me to teach back in 5th grade. As she stated, she was my 5th grade math and science teacher, and now I am able to teach 5th grade math under her leadership. It's a privilege now to work under her. I am so grateful for this recognition, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for me in this profession. Thank you so much.
As you can see, the future is extremely bright for us here in St. Tammany Parish. But tonight, joining us is Madeline's family and our principal, Miss Laura Haggard. If y'all would please stand and be recognized, please. Now moving on to our division winners. Of course, these teachers were chosen out of a tremendous pool of teachers that we have, and we're just so proud of the role they play and the role they play on their campuses. They do such a tremendous job on their sites of encouraging such great enthusiasm. But I'll start tonight with our elementary division, our elementary teacher of the year from Pontchartrain Elementary, Miss Kira Neal. I think Kira brought some people with her. But tonight, let's check out a video of Kira.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So Ms. Neal is a phenomenal third grade teacher here at Pontchartrain Elementary School. She loves her kids. She is a hard worker. She helps to ensure that the curriculum resources for her team are suited for students, as well as ensure that her team is supported. She is always willing to jump in and support campus events and initiatives, and she does it with a smile on her face.
And then we're gonna go to join. We're gonna join Ms. Kuyon's class. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. I know that I love my students like they're my own children, and I love being able to deliver the math content that I know that they're gonna need to be successful for the rest of their lives and in their futures.
Miss Neal is a wonderful teacher. She makes me want to learn and challenges me to do my best. Miss Neal's our best friend. She always brings a smile and she makes school wonderful.
I'm thankful to be the Elementary Teacher of the Year this year because it shows that my students are happy when they're learning and they're achieving their goals that they set for themselves and they're successful.
We love you,
Come on up here.
Okay, sorry.
Congratulations. Before you do.
Thank you, thank you.
Put you on the spot.
Okay, here we go. All right. Good evening, Superintendent Jabbia and School Board and everyone here. I'm deeply honored and humbled to stand here as this year's Elementary District Teacher of the Year. Teaching is definitely not a huge honor to be named district. We can just roll with that if we want. Teaching is not a solo journey. It's built on the support, inspiration, and collaboration of so many people, and I'm sure you heard them all back there. First and foremost, to my family, for your unwavering support and love for all these years that I've been teaching, to my students that I've taught. You are the reason that I love to do what I do. You challenge me, inspire me, and remind me every day why education matters. To my colleagues, administration, and my best friends back there, thank you for your encouragement, teamwork, endless text messages, lots of laughs, and girls' nights. This recognition belongs to all of us who believe in the power of education to change lives, and I thank you all for this incredible honor.
Joining us tonight, Kira's principal, Mr. Zach Butler. Her friends and family are here, so if y'all would please stand to be recognized, please. Next, we'll move on to our middle school, junior high Teacher of the Year from Bayou Lacombe Middle, Miss Michelle Day. Let's check out a video of Michelle.
It is a huge honor to be named District Teacher of the Year. I was not expecting it, so when Mr. Jabbia called, I was speechless. I really was.
So when we looked at the requirements for Teacher of the Year, her name just popped out immediately to us because of how fantastic she is in her classroom with her students, with the curriculum, and with all of her staff mates.
She really deserves it because she was a really good teacher and all of the lessons were really interactive and they were really fun.
It's such a huge honor to represent all the middle school teachers and the junior high teachers too. I just come in and do my job every day because I love it. So to be able to represent the other middle school teachers, I'm just beyond excited to do it.
She was one of my favorite teachers I've had ever, and I was really proud of her.
This community has gotten behind her and supported her, and I cannot tell you, I cried with joy because we were being recognized for the great things that are happening in the classroom, and she so deserves that. For the last 5 years that she's been in the ELA classroom in the 5th grade, her test scores have continued to go up and up and up. She proves to everyone that students who are at risk can and will do if you set that expectation for them.
Michelle, if you would join me up here, that would be awesome. Congratulations. Nothing like being on the spot.
I know, nothing like being on the spot.
I would like to thank the board. I would like to thank Superintendent Jabia. I would also like to thank my principal, Tony Rich, because I would not be able to do the things that I do inside the classroom without her support. And also my fellow BLMS family, my colleagues, because they get behind me. Whatever I suggest, we want to build a float. Oops, we want to build a float. They're going to help me build a float. I would also like to thank my family, my husband and my daughters, because there have been countless nights that I've been grading papers and working on lesson plans, and they've done nothing but support me. So thank you again.
Tonight, we are joined by her principal, again, Miss Tony Rich, friends and family. So if y'all would please stand and be recognized, please. Thank you so much. And in our high school division, from Covington High School, Miss Rachel Sinez. Unfortunately, Rachel was not able to join us tonight. She is the Grand Marshal in the parade that's going on right now. And she's like, this is great and all, but I'm the Grand Marshal of the parade. So we are just super happy for her. But let's check out a video of Rachel.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our Google Classrooms. We're going to do a checkpoint.
Miss Sinez has been a breath of fresh air on Covington High's campus.
You can't remove it.
She's been that go-to person at Solid Rock for teachers that teach the same curriculum as her and for the students that are in her classes.
Why did you change it?
I love teaching at Covington High School. I graduated from here, so I'm able to give back to the community that put in so much effort and
So I want you to write off to the side who.
energy into me and my education, and just to be able to pay back has been a dream come true.
So Miss Inez is amazing at making everything relatable to the younger students because she understands that this generation may learn a little bit differently.
Be there.
I think the biggest thing about my teaching style and philosophy is the fact that it's very student-centered. My students know that when we have an activity and we have a goal and a target, that they are going to be a part of how we're going to build that.
She makes sure that whatever we're learning, it's on a level that we can understand, and she relates it to us and what we have going on in our own lives outside of the classroom.
You know, we always say Covington High is the best kept secret on the North Shore. Well, we're not a secret anymore. We got the Rachel Sinez's on our campus, and we got plenty of them on our campus, and it's making a big difference. You know, we're doing a lot of good stuff on our campus at Covington High, and it's because of the Rachel Sinez's.
It has meant so much to me because it reaffirms what I do in the classroom and that I'm actually am making a difference and it is being noticed. It means the world to me to be District Teacher of the Year.
Again, congratulations to Rachel. I hope she's having a wonderful ride and a wonderful parade. But in talking to John Boudreau, he said that Rachel receiving this award and the recognition she's gotten going through the process, she is changing the culture at Covington High School and what she's doing in her PLCs in mentoring the young teachers. He is just blown away by the process, and I know she's very influential there on Covington's campus. So again, thank you to Rachel and to all of our winners. And tonight, again, Mr. Green, before I turn it over to you, again, these teachers represent over 3,000 of our educators that work in our classrooms, that put students first every day, and they represent all of the teachers of the year that were nominated by all of the campuses. I appreciate everything that our teachers do, and being able to recognize these ladies tonight is a tremendous honor. So I'd like to turn it over to you if the board has any comments or any questions or anything.
Before you turn it over, we do have one more recognition before we finish. But if somebody would like to comment on Teachers of the Year.
Yeah, Teacher of the Year. That's before I start principals.
Yeah. Anyone? Oh, okay. Unless we want to take a break and go celebrate Miss Sinez out at the parade.
Well, we'll move on.
Yes,
I just
Ms.
didn't know if
Laney.
y'all wanted to do teachers.
I just want to
before I
say
move.
congratulations to all of you. Just the speeches up here, I could feel your passion. Seeing the videos, I want to be in your classroom. It just reminds me of why I wanted to be a teacher. And I'm just so proud of everybody. And thank you for serving our parish and our students. So thank you.
Well said. Mr. Jabby, I'll go back to you.
I'll move on to Principal of the Year. That would be great. Thank you all very much. Again, it's my honor to recognize our Principals of the Year this year. They are instructional leaders. They lead our campuses. They change the culture and the climate on our campuses. So I appreciate everything that all of our administrators do, and they represent over 55 principals that lead our campuses. Tonight, we'll start off in the elementary division with our Elementary Principal of the Year from Mayfield Elementary, Miss Katie Singleton. Nothing like the Bears.
That was your first.
that was a first. I think they borrowed Miss Martin's van to come here so that they could come together. But I'm speechless right now. So let's check out a video of Katie.
Katie is a phenomenal leader. She is strong. She brings the energy to our school. She definitely sets the example by putting the kids first, and in doing that, we follow suit, and it's a great place to work.
Our kids are everything, and that's just what's so great about Mayfield, because our school is pre-K through 6th grade. So we are allowed to receive them at the tender age of 4 when they are kicking and screaming and not wanting to come to school. And then by the time they're in 6th grade, they're still kicking and screaming because they don't want to leave Mayfield.
Mrs. Singleton has found the secret of keeping a great faculty. She puts children first, but to put children first, you have to also take care of your faculty.
The entire school just loves her. It's amazing. She's just a good person, and if she was even in my grade, I know that we would be friends.
She is the heartbeat of this learning community because the children are what makes the community.
We're thrilled for her. She has led our school to greatness, and we are so proud of her as a whole faculty and staff here at Mayfield.
So we instill school spirit first, making sure that they love their school, they're safe, and they come to school ready to learn. We truly believe that we are the best elementary school in America because of our amazing students, our awesome faculty and staff, and our parents.
Katie, would you join me up front, please?
Well, they asked me, and I said, do whatever. Yeah, because they were going to do whatever anyway. So it is truly an honor to receive this award. One does not go into this profession seeking recognition like this, but I must say thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jabbia. Thank you, assistant superintendents. Thank you, board members. I often hear people say, I could never go into education or work in a school system. My response is always, you could if you worked at Mayfield. I truly believe I have the best work family behind me in America. That's why I share this award with them as well, each and every one of them. It's because of teachers like Mr. Reeser, who drives from Mandeville every day, parks in his assigned spot, arrives before 7 a.m. and ready to seize the day, or teachers like Ms. Izio, who is willing to move grade levels whenever needed to support our sweet students. And it's because of teachers like Ms. Pertini, who co-sponsors the dance team and volunteers every single event at Mayfield. It's also because of paraprofessionals like Ms. Kendra, who is willing to go above and beyond for any student in the building. These are the people who make our school not just a workplace, but a family, guys. A place filled with dedication, laughter, and big fun, as you can see. As I think back to 4 years when I accepted this position of principal, 2 amazing women said to me, "Call me if you need anything." That's something people often say, right? But these 2, they actually meant it. They have honored their promise wholeheartedly. And I'm forever grateful to Miss Carrie Sue and Miss Arlena LeBlanc, 2 of Mayfield's legends. I owe a piece of this award to them as well. We often joke and call ourselves Mayfield University. Thanks to our pre-K through 6th grade span, the number of students we serve, and all of the programs we offer on our campus, I'm blessed to have 2 incredible assistant principals, Miss Quigg and Miss Unda, who make every child at Mayfield feels loved and heard. I proudly share this award with them too. Every principal needs a Misty Hebler as a supervisor, so thank you for truly understanding Mayfield, Misty. And how can I not mention the 7,456 students, or at least that's what it feels like, who keep me on my toes every single day. I'm so proud to be part of their educational journey. To our amazing PTA and parents, thank you for trusting us with your children and supporting everything we do at Mayfield. I share this award with you as well. I read a post last night that said adults need a village too. I couldn't agree with them. I couldn't agree more. My village is the incredible Slidell High Learning Community principals who inspire, who support, and challenge me daily. I share a piece of this award with you too. And lastly, to my family watching from the great state of Alabama, I love you. And Mom, I'm pretty sure I'm your favorite again. So please add this award to the family group chat. And to my kids, Jeremy and Lauren, thank you for sharing me with everyone. And I know one of you doesn't mind at all. And we all know the other one definitely does. And to my husband, who's right here tonight, thank you for helping me balance work and life. Even though it wasn't my idea to add the dog to the family, I owe a piece of this award to you, Jeremy. And as I close, I want to challenge each board member to come visit the best elementary school in America. But be prepared. You might end up in a hallway dance party on the Blue Hall with the students, the faculty, and the staff, or see 4th grade teachers on the Green Hall dressed up in costumes while teaching. You might hear students in the penthouse or on the Yellow Hall laughing because they genuinely love Mayfield. Or even witness a teacher like Ms. Bolden racing students at recess. I'll let her tell you about the aftermath of that. We end every day bursting with school pride. So as I close, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And go Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3, go Bears! Thank you.
Good luck to the next 2 principals I'm going to call up. No, but we're joined, as she said, we're joined by our family and friends. So everybody here for Katie, if you'd stand up and be recognized, that would be great. Y'all just keep her husband Jeremy in your prayers, please. Please. Oh. I just never know. I knew when she came in, I'm like, I just never know. But we'll move on to our next division. In our junior high and middle school division, Principal of the Year from Lancaster Elementary School, Miss Laura Haggard. I was over here ducking. I was having PTSD. Let's check out a video of Laura.
How are y'all? Y'all having a good day?
Lancaster is such a positive place to be as a student, as a faculty member, and it's a combination of Miss Haggard's ability as a strong leader, but also her compassion that she has. She's real, she's approachable, and she leads with, this clear vision for what she wants our school to be like, but she also inspires us, and she does so with such love and care and compassion.
I truly believe this award is not just showcasing me, but the hard work that we do here at Lancaster. Being a part of the Lancaster family just feels like it completes me. It's a part of who I am. It's always a great day to be a sea turtle is what our motto is.
Miss Haggard is a great principal, and she's very patient, and she's the type of person to take 30 minutes out of her day just to say hi to kids and check on how they're doing.
Miss Haggard is a great principal, but she is also a great friend. She will challenge us to do our best, and she is very welcoming to our school, and she loves us.
When you have a leader that is so caring and compassionate as Miss Haggard, it is less like you are working for her and more like you are working with her. She makes us enjoy coming here every day. She makes us feel like we are part of a family. We're all just here for the kids and for one another. She has our back just like we have everyone else's back.
Laura, would you join me up here, please? We'll leave that right there.
Thank you. Kind of sad I don't have any confetti, but that's okay. I'll forgive them. My office will probably be rolled tomorrow or something. Well, good evening. I am truly humbled and honored to accept this award. First, I would like to thank Superintendent Mr. Jabbia and our school board for your unwavering leadership and support of Lancaster. Your vision continues to inspire us to continue to grow and persevere every day. To my assistant principals, Ms. Sweat, Ms. Como, and Mr. Stroll, thank you for being my partners in everything. Your dedication and teamwork make us the best place to work. To our faculty and staff, this award belongs to you guys as much as it does to me. You give your 110% every day to our students and to our school, so thank you. To our parents and families, thank you for trusting us with your children and partnering with us to make Lancaster a true community. And to our students, you are the reason why we do what we do every day. You inspire us to lead, to learn, and to love this work. And to my family, thank you for putting up with me and for supporting me. To my husband, Ryan, thank you for your patience and support and for making my coffee and lunch every day. And to my 3 amazing kids, Blake, Hayden, and Elise, being a principal's kid is not very easy. It's a very tough job. And you make being a mom very easy. And thank you for being as patient with me and for always loving me. So thank you again for this honor. I appreciate it.
Hearing Laura talk about getting breakfast and lunch made, I think everybody needs a Ryan, right? Everybody needs one of those. Where can I get one of them? But Laura does a tremendous job. So at this time, I want to have Laura's family, friends, co-workers, please stand and be recognized. Thank y'all so much for being here. Last but not least, we'll move on to our high school division. Our high school principal of the year from Mandeville High School, Mr. Christian Munson. Still got a little PTSD, Christian. I was just checking. I'm extremely proud to announce that Christian was named one of our state finalists, and he joined only one of 9 in the entire state of Louisiana at the Awards Excellent Gala in New Orleans this summer. It was an honor to be there with Christian and his family and friends, to be there to celebrate him. He's just done a tremendous job, and to get recognized by the state is a very difficult task to do. And so let's check out a video of Christian.
We
We are so proud of Mr. Munson for winning District High School Principal of the Year. He hasn't been here for super long, but just in the few short years he has been here, the impact has been so great. He's so good with the kids. He's created so many programs. He's created so much excitement about Mandeville High. It just seemed obvious that he would be the go-to choice, not only here, but across the state.
I think that Mr. Munson overall has transformed Mandeville High to foster his school motto of seize the day, which every day we strive to get better, seize the day, become the best versions of ourselves. He embodies this, which promotes students to embody this, and I think that's what makes him such a great leader and really deserving of the award.
There's a lot of work that goes behind these awards, and there's a lot of people that deserve a lot of recognition. So for me to be out in front and receive that, it's extremely humbling, but at the same time, it's me representing a lot of people and a lot of hard work.
I've come at him with so many different ideas, so many things I want to do. I know the kids have as well, and he is never the one to say no. It's always, yes, let's look into it.
I wanted to lead as if I were a kid. You know, I wanted to be the principal that I always wanted to have.
I feel as if coming in, I was his first freshman class, and I have seen the school grow each year under his leadership. I feel as if he fosters a collaborative learning community where all students can thrive, no matter if you're interested in the arts, if you're interested in sports, or if you're interested in more educational clubs. And he inspires all to do that through his leadership.
Christian, if you'll join me up here, please.
Superintendent Javier Board, thank you. It's funny watching a video. I didn't have a bald spot 5 years ago, so this job is not for the faint of heart. It's difficult for me to come up here and talk because I really don't think, like like what I said, there's a lot of hard work that we do every day. We don't ever stop and reflect back and say, you know, hey, we've ever won a race or we've done something. It's constant. It's a battle every day. And, you know, I'm up here and I represent 2,000 students. I represent 200 employees. I represent an incredible community that I'm lucky I get to serve. Every day I wake up and I pray and I ask God to use me to whatever glory He wants, and He's placed me at Mandeville High, and I'm just excited that I get to serve this community. So when you when you get through the district region, the paperwork, the stuff that you have to do, it's insane. So God bless whoever's gonna follow this. I do want to give a big shout out because as a competitive person, if you're going to get this, you're going to try to win. And so Rusty Gregoire is my broadcasting teacher. So I said, hey, on the video portion of it, we got to kill it. Like, we got to make it great. So our kids produced all the videos that were submitted. They were phenomenal. And I think that's what was one of the cornerstones of me moving forward. When you're tasked to write a lot of stuff about yourself, it's difficult. So Joni Landry, my assistant principal, we sat down and I was like, I can't say anything good about myself. Like, I just think, you know, you just go to work. So we began to just put a lot of stuff together. But the true person who really should get this award is my wife, Leslie. She is an incredible writer. So not that I'm cheating, but I would write everything, and over a glass of wine, she would say, nope, let's change this, do this. But just like that, we get up every day, she and I, we work really hard. We're raising two great kids, one of which is a freshman at Mandeville. And this represents so many people at school. I said in the interview, in the Zoom interview, they asked something about, you know, what this means. And I said, it doesn't mean anything for me. It means something to the boots on the ground. Our teachers that get up every day and they come to work and they get beat up and they come back and, you know, they go through the highs and lows of all these kids. And so I'm just so happy and honored to have accepted this award, knowing that it represents a great, great learning community. I will say this, because Frankie was with us. I went there to win, and it was a long ride home. And I'm super competitive. Leslie is 10 times more competitive. So we had a lot of, it was a tough ride home. I'll say this, when I got to the right outside of the district portion of it, I told myself, I said, I just want to get to the next round because the Mandeville community deserves to be recognized. I got to the second round and I said, okay, I just want the district to get some recognition in the semifinal round. And when I got to the final round, as soon as I saw it, I said, it's on. I'm gonna win this thing. And when I didn't win it, I was extremely upset. So I'm excited, but I have a chip on my shoulder to make Mandeville High that much better and go out there and destroy everybody else. So, but thank you. I'm honored. And thank you.
Listening to the last two speeches, the superintendent needs a Ryan and a Leslie. So I need to find those. So that'd be great. But like I said, tonight we're surrounded by amazing people. We're surrounded by amazing teachers. We're surrounded by amazing administrators. And it's just our pleasure, my staff's pleasure, this board's pleasure to recognize truly awesome people in our district and all of the employees of our district that do an amazing job. So thank you, board members, and thank everyone for being here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah. Would the friends and family of Christian please stand up and be recognized too in that learning community? Board members, I'll just say one quick thing. You know, teachers of the year, principals of the year, the speeches you give, the passion you have for the schools, for the students really shines through. And I think I speak for all the board when I say that you represent the best of the best. St. Tammany is just a fantastic parish, and our learning communities are fantastic. And we just thank you for the continuous hard work and what you do each and every day for our schools and for our students. So thank you so much. Before we break, we do have one last special recognition, so I would like to turn that over to Ms. Martin.
I'm reading the resolution for School Bus Safety and School Bus Owners, Operators, and Bus Attendants Appreciation Week, October 20th through October 24th, 2025. Whereas school buses cover more than 29,000 miles daily in St. Tammany Parish, transporting public and non-public students, and have an excellent safety record. And whereas the positions of school bus owner operator and school bus attendant require tremendous responsibility, as they are required to safely operate in traffic, maintain order on the bus, and in the event of an emergency, are looked upon for leadership and guidance. And whereas the St. Tammany Parish School Board is dedicated to the safety of our students and drivers on school buses, and whereas primary factors for the excellent safety record of St. Tammany Parish buses can be attributed to dedicated school bus operators and attendants who spend considerable time and energy in ongoing training to maintain skills and keep current knowledge of laws and safety procedures, as well as careful bus maintenance and thorough inspections. And whereas school bus owners, operators, and attendants are a critical part of this public education system by making our schools accessible to all students throughout St. Tammany Parish. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the St. Tammany Parish School Board hereby acknowledge and applaud the everyday efforts of all school bus owners, operators, and school bus attendants in the school system and proclaim the week of October 20th through the 24th, 2025 as St. Tammany Parish School Bus Safety and School Bus Owner Operator and School Bus Attendant Appreciation Week. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the official minutes of this board, with a copy being sent to Mr. Matthew Burmester, Director of Transportation, and to all schools within the school system to post as a sign of appreciation to all school bus owners, operators, and school bus attendants. And I so move.
Any comments from the public? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Sharp.
Barbara Sharp, bus driver. I support this resolution recognizing all of the bus employees. As of this week of recognition begins, these employees, along with all of the bus duty school employees, have the responsibility of evacuation drills also. This week of celebration for these employees comes with the huge task of some drawbacks, of course, but we see it as our responsibility to do the safety drills. It does put a lot of burden on the school duty teachers and the drivers because of the enormous responsibility of evacuating all children through the front door, reloading them, and evacuating them again through the rear door. So it puts a lot of stress on the timelines and the patience of all of those involved. This is only accomplished by working together as the schools and the drivers and patients. And we appreciate all involved in this, and we would like to address some shortages in what the school bus drivers and aid attendants that you're recognizing and go through it constantly is subs for those attendants. We have bus drivers, they're short too, but just saying we appreciate you doing this recognition, and we appreciate some help in getting some extra subs. Thank you.
Mr. Osborne.
Thank you, Chairman Green. Brent Osborne, Federation President. I just wanted to thank the board for bringing the full resolution. Obviously, a very important job class, so thank you so much. I didn't really realize how important words are, but these things mean a lot. I did want to say, you know, we have so many employment groups, I get it, but not everyone necessarily needs a big resolution. Our team, Meredith Mendez, Frank's team, they do a great job on social media with the smaller groups. So I know it can kind of seem overwhelming, but everybody's going to get seen and heard. But thank you for this traditional group that's throughout the years been honored. I would like to also call attention, you know, I know I've always represented and stressed the importance of bus owner operators and operators. Let's not miss out on our bus attendants. I'm learning more and more about the vital services that they provide and their challenges. So, you know, we encourage everybody to see both and celebrate both. They don't want their own. They want to be combined with the people they work with. So thank you again for bringing this full motion, and thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Any other comments from the public? Any from the board? Yes, sir, Mr. Kuzan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Having been a part of the Transportation Department many years ago, I just want to personally thank each and every operator, attendants, and people that work in that department, in that area. I don't think sometimes we realize how much responsibility these people have. And I just want to say thank you for this board and from myself personally for all you do for the students of St. Tammany Parish School. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kuzan. Any other from the board? Okay, we have a motion to pass the resolution. Please vote. Oh, sorry, unanimous. I'm sorry. So let's take a 5-minute recess. There's a lot of folks that want to get out and celebrate, and the business part of an agenda doesn't need to stop you. Okay, we've returned from our recess. Thanks, everyone. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Does any board member need to remove an item from the agenda? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hurstis. Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, President Green. I would like to remove, let me get there for a second. That would be H.
Okay.
Recommends acceptance of revisions to School Board Policy CG Administrative Records. Is that the
Okay.
public records request
Yes,
thing?
it
Okay,
is.
yes, I would
Yep.
like to remove that, please.
Okay, that item's been removed. Any other items, board members? Okay. I will read through the consent agenda minus item H. Item A, well, item B is approval of the minutes for the special meeting held September 4th, 2025. Item C, approval of minutes for the regular meeting held September 11th, 2025. Item D recommends acceptance of a resolution for the approval of the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for the fiscal year 24-25 audit. Item E recommends acceptance of an MOU with the Federation for Differential Compensation Pay. Item F recommends acceptance of revisions to salary schedules for fiscal year 25 through 26, which include payment plans for state-funded stipends of 2,000 certificated, 1,000 support staff, and for differentiated compensation pay funded by the state. Item G recommends acceptance of a revised job description, coordinator of child welfare and attendance. Do I have a motion? Ms. Laney, second by Ms. Baker. Any comments from the public? See none. Any from the board? I do want to let Terry address one item. She wanted me to
Yeah, in the salary schedule, since there were some questions last week from Ms. Gallagher and I believe Mr. Broad, on page 30, where it discusses the using the differentiated compensation to reimburse for the VAM and the non-VAM stipends, I added a sentence at each of those sections. This is a previously approved stipend and not a new stipend for these teachers, just to make it clear to everybody that it's not a new stipend. And also I added in D, it's for grades K through 12. Differential funding can only be used for K through 12, no pre-K. So just to make that clear. So it's just a clarification.
Thank you, Ms. Prevost. Any questions from the board? Please vote on the consent agenda. And that motion carries unanimously. So the next item is it recommends acceptance of revisions to School Board Policy CG Administrative Records. Do I have a motion to open discussion? Ms. Hurstis, do I have a second? Ms. Martin, any comments from the public? See none? Oh. This is public comments on this agenda item, so now's the time to talk, Ms. Barrios.
Lee Barrios, retired teacher. I recommend that you table a final vote on this policy until you've had a chance to do at least one of two things. First of all, file a request for an Attorney General's opinion regarding several items. For instance, can the custodian charge 50 cents a page for documents that have to be examined and reviewed to determine if there's any confidential or privileged information that needs to be redacted? The action of redaction is part of the examination and review process described in RS 4432C3. Can the custodian charge 50 cents a page for redacting confidential or privileged information from a public record prior to allowing review of documents requested? RS 4432C1, clarified for all public records, it shall be the duty of the custodian of public records to furnish copies to persons so requesting unless the requester fails to pay the applicable copying fees after being notified. This is referencing copies of records that the citizen wants to take home, not to review for free. This custodian charges 50 cents a page for any page being redacted before the records can simply be reviewed. I also recommend that the board contact the Attorney General's office to schedule an educational seminar as a public meeting during which all of your questions can be answered and the law clarified. It's part of statute, RS 4431-2. the Public Records Awareness Program. They will provide that. Beware of thinking that what other parishes put in their policy is correct, or that because they do it, you can too. The Calcasieu School Board policy, Mr. Alfonso quoted last week, does not comply with law in several parts, and it has not been updated since 2004. Both your policy and theirs also refers to personnel folders rather than certain personnel records. Both your policy and Calcasieu still state that Social Security number can be contained in an IEP, which is absolutely prohibited. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? To the board?
No, the cue's not working.
Okay, Ms. Hurstis.
Thank you, President Green.
Excuse me. Point of order. The motion is to open it up for discussion. We're launched into discussing already, so we have to vote on the motion to open it up for discussion first.
Okay, I
So
thought that's what
any
we had done.
discussion right now is whether to open it up for discussion.
Okay, okay, let's clarify then. This motion is to accept.
It's to discuss. You said to discuss.
Okay, well, I apologize. I ad-libbed and I shouldn't have. This is a motion to recommend acceptance of revisions to School Board Policy CG, Administrator. Sorry.
Mr. Green, can I ask you to read that? There's two on there. Which one are we voting on, the legal or the bro?
Because legal is.
I thought we voted on one last week.
They were the same one, and he supported Rose.
So we're voting to approve Mr. Bro's version of the policy.
Well, my intent was, once you removed it from the consent agenda, you have two before you. And after listening to comments from the public, in between the last board meeting and this one, I tried to simply quote statutory language to avoid this unnecessary discussion on redaction and something that's become too confusing. So in 2022, the statute that everyone's referenced, 44:32C, included an exact phraseology, which I have before you, the ability to collect for copies, copies that are related to the electronic copies of public records. So if you're looking at anything prior to 2022 on whether a governmental system can charge for electronic copies, it is dated. This includes many cases I'm familiar with, including the St. Tammany Parish coroner fought to be able to charge for electronic copies. The gold standard, which is throughout this act, is a reasonable charge. And this charge is not always easy to put into words. So I've suggested an edit that takes out the reference to redacting entirely. And it includes the language which says you can charge 50 cents per page copied. This is the copying charges, whether you get them in paper or whether you get them in an electronic copy. And that's the intent of when the legislature made this amendment. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with redaction. And for the record, the school system does not charge for the time it takes a human to redact. It's not done. Does not charge for taking records that are clearly not privileged and putting them in a room. People can go inspect records all the time. If you have a clear request for records that are clearly not intermingled with privileged information, the public has a right to inspect them, go and look at them. They can copy them themselves. They can use a scanner. They can take pictures on their phone. This is not complicated. When they ask for copies at that point, though, I want you to vision someone who just looked at 5,000 sheets of paper, says, I want copies. You get a choice. You can get a paper copy, and this board is suggesting 50 cents a page. It's not charging for the time it takes a human to run the copies. Or if they said, no, I want them electronic. Well, practically speaking, they have to still be run through a scanner, so they're in an electronic format, and then they hand you a flash drive. See, that's what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to talk about the time it takes to redact. And I'm trying to add clarity to a policy that, like always, if the policy is ever unclear, we always follow the statutory law in cases. So you can go to the Attorney General, and in a room, in a discussion, I promise you what I'm saying is going to mirror what this man is going to tell you. So any confusion in this policy is a result of us trying to summarize an extremely complex bit of legislation in Title 44 with more exceptions than you can possibly imagine in 44:4.1. So I apologize for this amendment, and we can vote on Mr. Bros, but we're going to implement it by law. And we're not going to charge for redaction, which was in the old version. See, is this, I'm hopefully becoming clear and not being long-winded, but I'm not charging for redacting. And vision this, 200 sheets of paper, they're intermingled with all kinds of privileged information. How can you inspect it with it having commingled redacted information? You can't. You're going to be looking at privilege. You see, like say it's a personnel file, and after a big fight, you got to produce it. You can't stare at someone's bank account information or their Social Security record prior, to being, you have to redact first. So you have to copy them first. Then you have to physically remove the privilege. Then you could put the records in a room for you to decide how much you want. Does that make sense, hopefully? This is what we're trying to capture. So again, I recommend my edits because they quote the statute, and it removes this idea that we're trying to charge for scanning or redacting, which is not happening. I've done my best. Any questions, please let me know.
Mr. Bro.
I have questions on the amendments. You put in different amendments than what I had, or?
There's, let me just
I'm okay with dropping the sentence from about redaction. I do want to make sure that the other part that I put in, where the records that are not confidential in a personnel folder are still there.
That's still there. We are
Okay, so
only
you're
literally-
recommending dropping that little section that I thought was going to make it clearer, but it doesn't follow the exact wording of the state law, so
Yes,
I'm
sir.
okay, because I thought it was redundant anyway.
It is, and I tried to make it clear, and it might have made it more confusing, but we're literally looking at that line on that policy that says 50 cents per page copy. You can put 50 cents per page copy, and I just added, which includes transmission of electronic copies of public records. That's the statutory language, no reference to scanning or redacting or confidential or privilege.
All right, well, I have no problem with dropping that.
So I think what we
particular
need to do is
part of it.
a friendly amendment
Yes.
to what's on to accept the legal edits.
So I move we accept it with the friendly amendment to remove that option, that redacted.
But it was, he said friendly amendment, so if Ms. Hurst just said.
Well, I make a motion to accept it with that with that clause eliminated about redaction.
Start over?
Okay, I recommend we accept the policy with the edits to remove, I think it was item D.
So just accept legal edits.
Legal edit is what.
That's not exactly what,
If you open it, he fixed legal edit. If you open up that.
It's saved as legal edit.
The word he just said is in there now.
and my option is in there.
It's in there.
Yes, and I put brackets around it, and I'm like, delete this.
Okay, I'm okay with I move that we accept the legal edit.
Do I have a second?
Called final draft when you open it.
Ms. McCollum is second. Okay. So I will open it back, the floor back up for public comments if we have any.
Since I've been contradicted by Mr. Harrison, I'm going to send you all emails that clearly show that I've been told that I have to pay upfront for them to redact documents before I can view them.
Board members? Ms. Martin?
Just so I'm clear, Mr. Harrison, you had just said that we are not going to charge for redaction, and that if a document is privileged, you do have to copy it, so then you can redact it, right? And so then if you take that document, put it in a room for someone to come and view it, If they don't want a copy of that, but they just want to view it, there will be no charge.
I think I'm following you. So let's say it's a limited amount of records that's not overly burdensome to redact to begin with. And they can be quickly redacted and put in a room, and they can come and look at those records and not get charged. That's the way it works in theory. Now, when you start dealing with, we have a records request right now for 65,000 pages, and we're trying to get them to narrow it because it's not happening. I'm not paying my staff to look through 65,000 pages, which came back in response to a request for their own students' records, but it's commingled in rosters with other students' names in it. So you see, I'm not going to redact that 65,000 page document and put it in a room for them to go look at for free. I don't want to produce that at all. And that's a real case, and Mr. Alfonso can tell you about it. So it is very fluid. We are overly fair, but the standard is reasonableness. And so I can't give you a precision because the act isn't written that way. And buried in it, there is a concept of undue burden. And if your request triggers 65,000 pages, which Lewis confirmed for me, we're going to say that's too much. But if you want that information, yeah, I would highly recommend you pay up front for the copies at 50 cents a page. That'd be $32,000. So we got to come up with a better system when records that are that extensive get prepared. You have to limit the request, you see? That's as best as I can do. Now, you ask for like 200 records, and I can get a paralegal or y'all redact them. I don't even want to redact them, to be honest with you. It's time consuming and it's a pain. But that time is not charged.
So a few hundred is reasonable.
I think a few hundred is reasonable, but a few thousand is not. And that's what it's like in the trenches when you try to follow the law.
Thank you.
Other board members? Ms. Herses?
Yeah, I was wondering when I was going to speak, considering that I'm the one that pulled it off the consent agenda. I'm looking here, and we are supposed to vote on the revisions of the school board policy. And I feel that we're all over the place. Everybody's just talking whenever they feel like it about this policy. What are we voting on? Because we are, Mr. Bro's saying that we're supposed to vote on, to discuss it. So did we vote to discuss it? Are we voting on the revisions of the policy? What are we doing right now is what I'd like to know. Because now we're changing the policy, we're discussing it. What the freak are we doing?
So just to clarify, last week we approved the policy that Mr. Bro offered.
Yes, we did. But then he said, point of order, that we're supposed to be thinking about discussing it.
That was corrected.
Yeah.
Then you corrected him.
Okay,
President did.
so.
Okay.
and-
Thank
and
you.
So Mr. Bro then offered, but after discussion about legal edits, it's the second attachment in board docs. We motioned to approve
Mr. Bro's
Mr.
thing, but now
Bro's
we're
with legal
changing it
edits.
with legal edit.
yeah, and if you open that up, it's one line item within that document.
Okay, and now he's doing a friendly amendment to that.
No,
No, we're just editing that.
we're voting on that edited version.
Okay, so now if I want to do something to that, when can I do that? After the vote?
Nope, the floor is yours.
Okay, I can do it now. All right, thank you. All right. Well, I would like to do, I guess, a friendly amendment. I don't know what I'm doing now. I never know what the H I'm doing. I would like to include some language in the public records policy stating that residents of St. Tammany Parish shall receive their first 100 physical copies of public records at no cost. As residents already contribute through taxes, it is both reasonable and in the spirit of transparency and service that we ensure access to public information without creating financial barriers. Because, for instance, Okay, let's see, where am I? Okay, this amendment applies only to individual residents. Let me be clear, individual residents, not businesses or corporations. Access to information about our public institutions should never depend on someone's ability to pay. Like for instance, if a single mom, is trying to ask for some information about her child's school, and maybe she may be denied access because she finds out ahead of time it's wind up being like $100. Me personally, I couldn't afford $100 if I needed to try to find some public records. Now, how would that be if this single mom could not get the information that she needed because she couldn't afford $100 for public records? So in this case, I'm not finished, hold on. I think, say the first 100 copies, physical copies, because now I'm hearing all this other stuff is free. And I was just told last week that, it's very minuscule, our cost anyway, that we've been getting, because I haven't received any information as far as cost. But we were told last week it's very minuscule that we're getting anyway. That why can't we just go ahead in fairness and openness and accountability to the people that we serve, that we cover that cost? So I would like to add that into this policy, that, again, the language in the public record policy stating that residents of St. Tammany Parish shall receive their first 100 physical copies of public records at no cost. And whatever the term is, I shall move, or whatever it is.
So you're asking for a friendly amendment?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
Mr. President Green.
Mr. Bro and Ms. McCullum will have to agree to that, right? No?
I don't know who did the
They have to.
first and second.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I do not either.
Now what?
Then she has to make a substitute motion?
Or an
But
amendment.
you're shaking your head.
A substitute
I
motion?
love the idea, but honestly, I think that would violate like an equal protection type thing.
How? How is that
Because I'm
violating?
telling you, if you're in New York and you want records, you should get charged, which then means if you're locally and you want records, you should get charged. It's just equal across the board. There's no real reason to create a carve out for those residents here, as kind as the idea is.
Yeah, considering our property taxes just went up, skyrocketed, and everything
The public records
else.
are entitled to the public, and the biggest part behind the Public Records Act is you literally give the public what they're entitled to. And
Yeah,
I'm
and-
only
and if-
involved like 10% of the time, and the charges are ridiculously low. So I don't.
50 cents a copy?
In practice, if they can be produced, what's already electronic, I'm telling you, Steve, puts it on a flash drive, I don't know if it's $5 or something like this. It's a very de minimis charge.
Yeah, $5 for that I can see, but we're talking 50 cents a physical copy.
Ms. Hurst, let's offer a substitute motion if you'd like
What-
to.
My substitute motion, okay, maybe the first 50 copies.
You have to state it.
Okay, my policy, residents of the St. Tammany Parish shall receive their first 50 physical copies of public records at no cost.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
No second?
Okay. Motion's been seconded. Public comment?
Where Ms. Hersey's is going. That the public records is supposed to be provided to the public because as best you can do it. You're not supposed to hinder in any way public records. However, that mother, just to remind you, could go down and see those records for free and make her own copies with the cell phone or any other way, okay?
Okay.
So, but I do agree, 50 cents is too much in my opinion. The state, all state agencies, the maximum they can charge is 25 cents a copy, and they don't have to charge that. They have that option, and you all could have that option too in any case. For instance, the Department of Education never charges anything, even if they mail you a big packet. Those are state agencies. They're free to do that. So I see where you're going, but I think you're creating an accounting nightmare for one thing. Who's going to keep track of all that? Okay? So just consider that.
Any other public comment?
President Green, may I say something about student records? And I'm not contradicting Ms. Hurst, I understand, but we don't charge for student records. If it's a parent or guardian, they come to pick up student records, or they request student records, we provide student records free of charge.
Thank you. Ms. Martin, you had a question?
Thank you, President Green. Is it true that state agencies are limited to 25 cents?
Yes, it's 25 cents. I researched it last meeting. I would support an amendment at 25 cents. I suggested it. And then again, Mr. Alfonso was very diligent in his research and found many local agencies that aren't state agencies charging more. So realizing the Constitution, a local government is separate from a state agency. So the tension is whether you can charge 25 cents. I think Steve was telling me Covington charges $1. Many of them and many school systems are charging 50 cents. But I'm just telling you, he picked one of the lower numbers. So there's tension as to whether we can charge 50 cents or 25 cents. It's not clear.
Is there a reason why we went with a higher amount versus the 25 cents that
It
is
was
consistent with state
lower
agencies?
than many and commensurate with many school districts.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board comment
On the substitute motion.
on the substitute motion?
Wait, discussing or the fact that we're voting on it?
We're voting on the substitute motion to approve Ms. Hurst's.
Yeah, quick question.
Yep.
I guess the first thing that, since we're talking about state agencies, what types of records do state agencies provide versus local government, like a school system? We have much more detailed names and stuff, whereas they're probably much broader, so it's.
So, all right, a deep dive is this simple. A state agency would include like the sheriff's department, and the coroner's office, and the district attorney's office. I'm going off of memory, but they are different in kind than, say, like a local government. There's another term of art called a political subdivision. So political subdivisions include like towns and parishes, and they include a school board. And they normally have a balanced form of government, right? A mayor and a council, or a parish president and a council, or a school board and a superintendent. So there is distinctions when you follow certain laws. Like, for example, very simply, Title 39 does not apply to the school board unless Ms. Terry chooses to adopt some of those provisions, and she could talk at length about that. So when you're dealing with a strictly state agency, like, they are sometimes smaller, and they may have less complex documents, and they will not have student records, but those really don't cause the problem. The student records are easy to produce because they're not charged for.
Thanks, sir. And one last, when we're talking about like the first 50 copies free or 100 copies, is that like per request? Is it per year? Is it per person? Like, where's, like, per request? For like the year or for that request?
Yeah, I guess it would be per person, per year.
Okay.
But, okay, well, let me ask you this, President Green. Would it be possible then, if I guess I changed and maybe did a price and changed it instead of maybe 25 cents instead of the free copies?
Are you trying to say for
Change
the,
change my amendment to 25 cents instead of the free copies?
for St. Tammany residents?
Yes, sir.
And then other people would be charged 50?
Yeah.
Okay. You can make that motion, that substitute motion.
Can I do that, or am I screwing things up?
I guess it'd be a friendly amendment.
Be a-
Fr- Yeah, it's a friendly amendment to your substitute motion, and then you'll need Amanda to agree to that. So Amanda, do you agree to the,
Maybe so. Or should I just go across the board 25 cents? Yeah, across the board 25 cents for everything. Okay, so that would be a friendly amendment to my, what was it? friendly amendment to my
Okay, so,
substitute motion?
I just want to clarify though, because we still have a distinction between residents of St. Tammany and non-residents. Are you offering a substitute motion to just change it for everybody to be 25 cents?
Just to be easy for Ms. Prevost.
Okay, so,
It's not easy. Can I say something? We
What?
don't usually, I don't, Steve can answer this, we don't always know where somebody lives. So you're.
That's what I'm
we've
saying, just
removed-
25
we've
cents
removed
across
that.
the board, that's
We've
what I'm
removed
saying.
that, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're doing.
to make it easy.
So really what we're at now is a request for a friendly amendment to Mr. Bro to change it from 50 to 25 cents.
That was, yeah.
Do you accept that?
No. All right, so now we have a substitute motion to accept policy CG with 25 cents instead of 50 cents. Do I have a second? At 25 cents, going once. Ms. Martin seconds that motion. Any comments from the public? 25 cents. Ms. Barrios?
I mean, I'm just trying to help you all understand certain things that seem to be, like Mr. Harrison said, making a big deal out of something that shouldn't. But so in Mr. Harrison's contract with you all, he states that he doesn't necessarily charge for making copies of things to you, the school board. But if he would, it would be probably 2 or 3 cents, something like that. You can correct me, Mr. Harrison. So it's not that you need that money, okay, for public records requests. All right, it's for a copy. If you get a copy of any item, a paper copy or digital, the new law, you can charge that. So, I mean, going crazy over how much you charge, 25 cents is still a good bit of money if you have 100 pages, okay? But again, anybody can come in and review, and they're not supposed to charge, although I have plenty of emails where I've been told I cannot see the records till I pay for the number of pages that were redacted, so anyway.
Any other public comment? Back to the board. Mr. Harrell?
If we move to 25 cents, does that go to previous requests that have been unpaid, or is that just moving forward any future requests?
Imagine it'd have to be moving forward.
Okay, I was just kind of curious. If we got somebody with 65,000 requests, we just saved them $16,000.
In fairness, that's the kind of thing that's not sustainable. That wouldn't be reasonable regardless of whether you're doing 25 or 50. Look, I'm gonna make it easy. Go for the 25 cents. It's in the section 301 of the administrative code. And it makes it easy because it's what everybody else is doing. You start to go for more and it gets complicated. And I can guarantee you that Covington trying to charge $1 a page is not sustainable. They're gonna get challenged on it. And Steve is more than fair. He mostly doesn't even charge 25 cents a page.
Mr. Bro, did I see your hand up?
Yeah, yes. I don't know how long the 25 cents has been on the books, but the state could change that next year, next month, next week. It's probably been on the books for 10 years or more. I know for a fact that I went and get records from Slidell City years ago, and it was $1. So I think it is sustainable. Steve, Mr. Alfonso did research. He checked all the surrounding areas and other agencies and many school districts, and 50 cents is what he recommends. I don't support going to 25 when it could be 50 next month at state. So, you know, everything else is going up, and that 25 cents has been there probably for 10 years. So I don't support changing it to 25 cents.
Mr. Favino Gallagher?
I was just commenting on something Mr. Harrell said. As of today, the policy is the way it is. If we change it today, it's from here on out. Like, then we would, how many people, how far back would you go if you requests are in there. There could be 80 requests in there. I think somebody said last week there was like 50 requests still out there. You can't go back. It's from here on out. Like if we give a raise today, just because you're employed yesterday doesn't mean you get the, I mean, if you weren't employed, if you're employed tomorrow, whatever I'm trying to say, you won't get it. It's from here on out, from here forward. The only other thing I'd say to Mr. Bro is if we're concerned about what the state's gonna do, I've done it in a board that I'm on, you say it's the rate that the state holds, and if the state changes, you change with the state. That's the only other option you would have, because if the state changes, we're back to this discussion again, take an hour on how much we're gonna charge people for a copy of paper. So, that's my suggestion, y'all can do with it what you so choose.
Board members? Let's please vote on the substitute motion to accept the policy with legal edits and change the cost from 50 to 25 cents.
That's what we're voting?
Mhm. Just to change, yeah.
It should have popped up a new vote. You voted yay to change it from 50 to 25? Yeah, you got nay. I got her yay. Five yeas, 6 nays, 2 abstentions.
5 yeas, 6 nays, and 2 abstentions, so the substitute motion fails. So we're back to the original motion with legal edits at 50 cents.
6 nays and 2 abstentions.
Yep. So that motion does not pass. So we're back to the original, Mr. Bro's original motion to accept the policy with legal edits. And I guess I'll go back to public comment. See none. Back to the board comment. Any? Please vote.
This is the original with the legal edit.
And that motion carries 13 yeas and 2 not present. All right, so moving on to our other agenda items. Item A, item B now, appropriate retirement resolutions for the following certificated personnel subsequent to September 11th, 2025. Mr. Alfonso.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Green, Superintendent Jabby, and Board. Terry A. Glockner, Folsom Elementary, 26.2 years, 25.2 years in St. Tammany Parish. Kimberly R. Vanderklis, Little Oak Middle, 32.09 years, all in St. Tammany. Mitchell R. Stubbs, Chafuncta Middle, 31.25 years, 30.25 years in St. Tammany Parish. Michelle M. Brassett, Woodlake Elementary, 28.27 years, 27.27 years in St. Tammany Parish. And that's a total of 117.81 years.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Mr. Kuzan, second by Ms. Baker. Any comments from the public? Any from the board? Please vote. And that motion carries unanimously. Item C is appropriate retirement resolutions for the following employee support services personnel subsequent to September 11, 2025.
Yes, sir. Thank everyone again. Karen A. Sturbins, Brooks Curriculum Center, 18.68 years, all in St. Tammany Parish. Diana W. Hernandez, Central Office, 27.97 years, all in St. Tammany Parish. Randy J. Latty, Madisonville Elementary, 25.66 years, 12.91 years in St. Tammany Parish. Randy S. Dawsey, Transportation Center, 25.04 years, all in St. Tammany Parish. Darrell M. Taylor, Transportation Center, 14.28 years, all in St. Tammany Parish, and that's a total of 111.63 years.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion? Ms. Rutherford, do I have a second? Ms. Gallagher? Any comments from the public? Any from the board? Ms. Rutherford?
I just want to say congratulations to Mr. Taylor. We will definitely miss him. He was a wonderful bus driver for Lake Harbor.
Ms. Gallagher?
I missed it a minute ago from Ms. Vanderklis. She was a great principal at Little Oak Middle School. She's been there through all my kids, so she will be missed, so thank you.
Please vote. That motion carries unanimously. Item D, recommends acceptance of a resolution naming Paul E. Harrison LLC, doing business as Harrison and Richardson, as general counsel for St. Tammany Parish School Board. Do I have a motion? Ms. McCullum, do I have a second? Ms. Hurstis? Any comments from the public? Any from the board? Please vote.
Oh, wait, sorry, who made the motion? It was Ms. McCollum?
Ms. McCullum and Ms. Hurstis was second. That motion carries unanimously. Next item on our agenda is public comments. Mr. Osborne?
Thank you, Board President Green. Brian Osborne, President of the St. Tammany Federation of Teachers and School Employees. Earlier this year, State Superintendent Cade Brumley released a letter to all teachers under the banner, "Let Teachers Teach." Many educators, however, felt he was speaking out of both sides of his mouth. In our response, our union is preparing a campaign of our own, "Let Teachers, all caps, really teach." We're at a crisis point. From block scheduling to the NIT rubric to endless testing, teachers feel burdened in ways I have not seen before. This pain is sharpest in elementary schools, but it extends across middle and junior highs as well. NIET is mandated, but I feel the way we are implementing it is part of the problem. Teachers are told a score of 3 to 3.5 on a 5-point scale is rock solid. But if you're a diamond, being called rock solid isn't good enough, especially when higher scores feel out of reach. That must change. My mentor teacher at Slaughter High, Susan Muchmore, often said, quote, "Feed the principals or they will eat the teachers. Feed the teachers or they will eat the students." It's harsh wisdom, but it holds truth. Both teachers and administrators need supports that feed their spirit and allow balance in their lives. Without support and course correction, the path forward is unsustainable. As a labor leader, my goal is always labor peace. But right now, there is labor unrest. In the days ahead, we will be hearing directly from our members on these critical issues. I believe the Federation, administration, and this board should work together constructively to listen and provide relief the teachers so desperately need. Thank you and good night.
That concludes public comment. The future focus night dates are attached for your information in board docs. The November committee as a whole meeting will be held on Thursday, November 6th. The November board meeting will be held on Thursday, November 13th. An executive session has been requested pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 42:17A2 to discuss the following matters: Eugene Bailick's versus St. Tammany and Reeves versus Gary. Do I have a motion? Mr. Bro, do I have a second? Ms. Rutherford, any public comment? Any comments from the board? We are in executive session.